Jazz, very kind. My name is Anthony, and I'm a real alcoholic. Happy to be here today. I was really looking forward to this. Jazz asked me the other day, and we did a little communication, so I'm glad to be here. And first word is continued, right? I am a member of Byoc, 5796. That's 9,801 days. I have a counter, and I think I get a potato chip today, Chrissy Fitz. I think that's today's chip. Potato chip. So step 10 on page 8, the little summary that it has is continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Then it says, can we stay sober and keep an emotional balance under all conditions? Self-searching becomes regular habit. Admit, accept, and patiently correct defects. Emotional hangover. When past is settled with, present challenges can be met. Varieties of inventory, anger, resentments, jealousy, envy, self-pity, hurt, pride, all led to the bottle. Self-restraint, first objective. Insurance against big shotism. So wow, we get insurance in the big book and insurance here too. Let's look at credits as well as debits, not only done in red ink, it says in our book. Examination of motives. So I'm going to go a little bit through our step 10. The 12 and 12 is really wonderful, right? We probably don't read it enough anymore. I used to do it a lot in person because they didn't like to read the big book. So we read this a lot more than we read the big book. But the first word is continued. And I want you to think about this while I'm sharing. Suppose you never started. Suppose you never started taking, it says continue to take personal inventory. Suppose you never really started, right? A lot of people balk at the inventory part and go away. So in our book, I'm going to go through some of the stuff I have highlighted, right? A continuous look at our assets and liabilities. Learn to grow day by day. Emotional balance. Habit. Persistently. Live serenely. Requires an admission and correction of errors now. Taken any time of the day. It says undisturbed here. It may say a different word later in this chapter. Habit, practice, grooved, right? They're saying we're doing it over and over. Everyday living. And then again, I didn't really know it said this here until I started listening to my buddy Russell. It is a spiritual axiom, like it's a fact, spiritual fact, that every time, that means like every time, they always say every in this book. Every time we are disturbed, I've got Corinne in the middle of my screen. So Corinne, every time you're disturbed, only because you're in the middle of the screen, no matter what the cause. So if your friend, your boyfriend, your husband, your job, your mom, brother-in-law, the news, the markets, sports, gets you disturbed, it says there's something wrong with us, with you. And I'm picking on Corinne because she's right in the middle of my screen. So you might want to go out and come back in, and then you won't be in the middle and picked on it anymore. It says grudge, anger, wrath, emotional dry benders, disturbances. Ooh, it mentions disturbances again. Such disturbances, stormy emotions, get us off balance. We need restraint, discipline. Nothing pays off like, I'll say this kindly, shutting the F up. Nothing, it says right here, nothing pays off like restraint of tongue and pen. Like even if your wife yells at you when she has a dream life, talking about my wife, right? Even if she yells at you for no reason, I didn't have to reply. I did. So guess the silly boy that needs to make an amends now. Even if she's like 98% wrong, right? I got to continue to do that. Habit of self-restraint, self-control, emotional, angry pains. I love that it says here, it says, today we are sober only by the grace of God and that any success we may be having is far more his success than ours. Now, again, I think it's really cool that people announce they got time and years, but the book always keeps telling me it's his success, right? I didn't get any success before I got here and met him and got in touch with him and had a relationship with him. So I didn't want to tell you that I had 9,801 days because they're his days. I mean, it's crazy. I shouldn't be here. So what does it say? Here we only recognize that we did act, think badly, try to visualize how we might have done better, and resolve with God's help to carry these lessons over into tomorrow. So, again, I've already told you, no matter how someone treated me today, how did I react? Right? I mean, if you never started taking inventory, you can't continue taking inventory. Right? What we've been doing our whole lives is taking everything wrong, everything we did, anything we want to hide from, and we throw it in the basement. Right? And we never let anybody in the basement. And it gets stinky and dirty and grimy, and then we throw more stuff on top, and we throw more stuff on top. Sometimes we get in AA and they tell us to go clean the basement, and we go, okay, I don't need to clean the basement. So then I don't continue. And then I usually continue to go to drink, right? The last line says, we can truly thank God for the blessings we have received and sleep in good conscience. I mean, I think that should be one of the questions we said to each other. I'm going to pick somebody else. Boots from Ruskin. You're not supposed to answer yet, but I'm just going to say, how'd you sleep last night? Chaz, how'd you sleep last night? Gina, how'd you sleep last night? Right, because that's telling me something about, how many times does it need to say in all of our books, all our material, drinking's only a symptom, bottles are only a symbol, it's only the beginning, it's only a start, the ante to the poker game, whatever it keeps saying. Now, I was listening to Russell the other day from a recent chat and then all over 2012. Yet all we want to talk about is being sober, right? Nobody asked how'd you treat your wife? How'd you work today? Right? These are things that I don't want this guy coming on at 4:00 and asking me these questions. I came here to have fun and get a little relief. Stop asking me about myself. I've been ducking me all day. Anybody identify with that? I've been hiding from me all day. I've been doing stuff. I've been distracting myself, right? I went shopping. I had lunch. I went for coffee 3 times. I went on 9 meetings with my screen off. I didn't share. But, there's a lot of stuff we need to look at that we don't want to look at ourselves, right? If somebody asked me what alcoholism, I would say it would be me avoiding myself, right? And the things I do and the people I hurt and the opportunities I ruin, avoiding being with me. That's a great, great thing for. So, Jazz, you'll tell me when we get to 5 minutes, right? You said that 20, right? I probably won't take that long, but no coincidence, right? I read with my sponsor every Wednesday morning, and today he sent me something, and of course it was on step 10. Of course it was, right? But it was disguised as recovered, right? So it says let's take a look closer at what it means to be recovered alcoholic. Now, don't get nervous about the recovered word because it's what we're supposed to get, right? I know most of us I was taught I hated the word, hated. Now I love it because it's what we're supposed to get. Right? Go to the bottom of 84. There are 18 points. I'm just going to read through these a little bit, and I'm probably going to do some studies with people on because that's what Joe and I did this morning. So this is what it says in the 10-step in the big book, but it was broken down a different way. No coincidences, right? That Joe sent me a 10-step reading this morning. It says, and we have ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol. So that means I'm not fighting my wife, but I am a little bit. It means I'm not fighting the market, but I am a little bit, right? So I guess I'm not perfect in that one. I got to keep working. Best line in the book, other than a million other ones. For by this time, sanity will have returned. We're going through the 10-step promises, right? For by this time, sanity will have returned. What a great thing to show a beginner if you're taking them through. right? Because the second step says, came to believe that power greater than ourselves would restore us to sanity. And then you can say, hey, hold on a second. As soon as you start doing your amends and get on 10, it says here sanity is returned. You're not crazy anymore. Except you're going to be like crazy. We will seldom be interested in liquor. We're defining a recovered alcoholic. If tempted, we recoil from it from a hot flame. Right? I know that feeling now, and I'm running, getting away from it. You know, some of the things that help, you know what it says about insurance from Big Shot isn't? In our book, it says, nothing will so much ensure immunity from drinking as intensive work with other alcoholics. Not a lot of people do that. I didn't do it for 18 years, the first 18 years sober. Jazz said BYOC, that's all we do. We have insurance, we get insurance. We have an insurance company that doesn't have any premiums. You can't beat it. It's a beautiful thing, right? We react sanely and normally. Why? Sanity returned, it just said, right? And we will find this has happened automatically. So I just need to do the work, which nobody wants to do. It says that all over the place. And this will happen automatically. I don't even have to do anything except keep working the rest of my life about it, right? We will see that our new attitude toward liquor has been given us. And I know Russell's not giving us new attitudes. He just can't see us all. It's God, right? Given us. God's taken it away. God's given it to us. Without any effort on our part, it just comes. It's a miracle that I'm recovered. Right? We are not fighting it. Neither are we avoiding temptation. I don't think about it. I haven't thought about it literally for 26 years. I'm crazy in other parts of my life, right? We feel as though we've been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. I'm protected by God. I'm not protected by Ed, Roy, Bill, Sari, and James, right? Those are nice people. I see them a bunch of times, but I'm not dependent on them. They're nuts, and they could drink tomorrow. I need a relationship, non-humans, with God, higher power. We are not cocky nor we are afraid. So that means I'm not bragging about I'm sober because obviously I can do this by myself. And I'm not afraid to tell you I'm recovered. That's how we react. So we get all these promises and there's only one little thing you need to do. Keep in fit spiritual condition. Easy, right? The next line in the book says, but it's easy to let up on the spiritual program of action and rest on our laurels. The next line says, all you need to do is keep in fit spiritual condition. Next line says, but you're probably not going to be able to do that. Right? We are headed for trouble if we do, for alcohol is a subtle foe. We are not cured of alcoholism. It says that in the book. Now, I know Bill says, Henrietta, Lord has been so wonderful to me, curing me of this terrible disease. And our other founder, Dr. Bob, says, finding a cure for this disease, but they made him say not cured. And am I cured from alcoholism? I'm recovered and I'm cured, right? I can go get it back. It can be taken away from me, but it's gone. It's been gone. What we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Jazz, how long do I have left, buddy? 5? Okay, good. We're only going to take one because this is the deal I'm going to make. I'll go short if you guys go short, right? That's my deal I'll make with you because we get to many people today. It says, let me offer an analogy about recovered alcoholic. Take the gunshot victim, for example. He gets shot, goes through a period of recovery, suffers the affliction, is recovered from the gunshot. Makes sense, right? But he's not bulletproof. Get the idea? Interesting, isn't it? This is the mindset, attitude, and definition of recovered alcoholic. Sane, neutral, safe, protected, and in fit spiritual condition. We are not cured of alcoholism. What we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Guys, the first page, the title page of the big book says the story of how thousands of men and women have recovered from alcoholism. Please don't be afraid of the word. Somebody taught you recovering. Somebody taught that to you. Let the first 100, let us read the book. Be taught that word recovered. And then go show people what it is. Peace and love, man. Thank you guys so much.